Welcome back, New Augusta Scholars. Today we are going to kind of take a break from notes, but we will still have a little quiz just to make sure that you watch the video today. And we're going to focus on some things that you guys wrote down on the very first quiz that we took, where I asked you what are some things you wanted to learn about in health. Many of you put down that you wanted to learn how to better handle your stress, better handle your emotions, and just kind of reframe your thinking sometimes to just be in a little bit more of a positive mind frame. So we're going to kind of talk about that today. And even if this is something that you're already pretty good at, you already feel like you have a high self-esteem and you don't really get stressed very easily, or if you do get stressed, you handle it pretty well. This is still a really good strategy to have, because at some point in your life, stress will become high, and it's good to know some calming techniques and some ways to kind of recenter yourself and get yourself back to thinking straight, like thinking with a calm brain and without feeling anxious or nervous or worried about things. And this is just a really good way to help you kind of deal with some of those ongoing emotions that might feel like they're taking over sometimes. Okay, so today we're going to talk about some focused attention practices and some emotional freedom techniques. Okay, so let's get started. And like I said, you can write some of these things down so that you have them and you know them, but it's not going to be like this huge note-taking session. And you can watch the video as you take the quiz just so that you kind of make sure that you do well on it, but most of it you should remember. The quiz won't be too hard. Okay, so here we go. So, focused attention practices. So I'm going to read this paragraph to you here. And this is super important, which is why I highlighted it. Okay, focused attention practices calm and soothe our limbic brain activity and sympathetic nervous system, responsible for the fight or flight response. And then they allow access to the parasympathetic nervous system, which relaxes the body and helps us return to homeostasis. Homeostasis is a state of calm, a state of just normal regulation. They do this through deep breathing and movement. Deep breathing is crucial to supporting people in accessing their parasympathetic nervous system, because there is no medication that can help boost your parasympathetic nervous system. Your breath is the best calming treatment known. Focused attention practices also activate executive functions in the prefrontal cortex, such as sustained attention and emotional regulation, which helps us to create a pause and a bit of reflection. So when we practice these focused attention, we are able to pause and reflect before we act or before we get nervous and worried and all worked up. Focused attention practices are critical when priming the brain for cognition. So that means when priming the brain to get ready to learn. So there's a ton of these on here. And we're going to go through just a few of them. I'm going to show them to you. And I've taught these to my own children also. And they do seem to be very beneficial for them. So I'm going to just take you through some of the easier ones, and then I will post these on the page so that if you want to go back and look at more, because there's a bunch that can kind of help you. Some are good for school, some are better for home, or for when you don't need to be sitting still and quiet in a classroom. So some of these ones that we're going to go through, the first one is called box breathing. Okay, so I'm going to show you the picture here. So it's called box breathing, and it looks like this. So you're drawing a box. So you breathe in for 4 seconds while you draw a box this way. You hold your breath for 4 seconds as you go down. You breathe out for 4 seconds as you come this way, and then again you hold as you come back up. So it looks like this. So you breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Okay, So you're breathing in as you go across for 4. You hold your breath as you come down for 4. You breathe out when you go this way for 4, and then you hold that, and then you breathe back in. And you just keep making a box until you can feel yourself starting to calm down and feel yourself starting to regulate, okay? So another one is called infinity. So you hold your thumb up in front of your face. The infinity sign is like a sideways 8. So you would hold your thumb here, and you're going to create the infinity sign in the air, and you're going to watch your thumb as you come around. So your eyes are focused on your thumb. Your thumb is making this figure 8, and you are just kind of watching that as you go. Okay. Another really good one is to just doodle. So you can doodle and help you kind of remember things. Like if you're starting to stress out and things are like getting overwhelming and you're not sure you're going to remember things for your test, like doodle those key words just off to the side in your notebook, right? So if there's key vocabulary, just pick the word and just doodle it, make it pretty, draw it, add hearts and rainbows or circles and like fireworks, I don't know, however you like to doodle. I love to doodle. I do it a lot. And it kind of helps you focus on that word, and it also helps to calm you during a time where you're starting to feel stressed out and overwhelmed by all the work that you're getting. Okay, so there's a ton of breathing ones. So we're going to go through one more breathing exercise because I don't want this video to be too long. So this is called 6-second breathing. It says take a deep 6-second inhale while reaching your arms overhead, and then exhale and count backwards from 6 when you're bringing your arms back down. So you're breathing in for 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're breathing in that whole time while you're raising your arms up, and then you're counting down from 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, as you come back down. So you breathe in, you don't have to count, you can count to 6 in your head. So breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so those are some focused attention practices that can help regulate your nervous system and help kind of bring you back to homeostasis, which is that normal level for you. Okay, and like I said, there's a whole bunch. I just picked out some that I wanted to show you today and talk about today, and I'll put the rest of them up so that you can look at them. So this is most important, right? Your breath is the best calming treatment known. So really, when someone says take time to count to 10, count backwards, slow down, take a couple deep breaths in, they really are trying to help you bring yourself down and come back to normal. Okay, so there's another thing that's really gaining a lot of topic of talk lately, and it's called tapping, and it's supposed to help you kind of with your emotional reactions to things. Okay, so there's 6 steps to this, and we're going to kind of go through it here quickly, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So this is the emotional freedom techniques. Okay, so emotional freedom techniques, also known as EFT or tapping, are evidence-based strategies that promote stress relief and resiliency through activating a mind-body connection. The basic tapping technique requires you to focus on the negative emotion at hand, a fear, a worry, a bad memory, an unresolved problem, or anything that's bothering you. While maintaining your mental focus on the issue, use your fingertips to tap 5 to 7 times on each of the 9 specific meridian points of the body. Tapping on these meridian points in sequence while concentrating on the negative emotion engages both the brain's limbic system and the body's energy system, encouraging a sense of safety and resolution. Thus, this is a bottom-up regulating strategy. By pairing tapping with strength-based cognitive reframing, the brainstem is activated through the language of sensations. So I know all this stuff kind of sounds like super scientific, and you're like, what the heck, Ms. Johnson? I don't know what any of this is. So all you really need to know is that you are able to calm down. You're able to refocus. You're able to get rid of that unpleasant sensation from a fear, a worry, a bad memory, an unresolved problem, and it will help your brain re-engage in thinking at stable level instead of like I'm super angry level or I'm super upset level, and then you make these rash decisions that are not good for you. Okay, so the way that this works, there's 6 steps. So identify the stress or the stressor and any accompanying feelings, physical sensations, or challenging thoughts. So maybe the stress is that you and your friend had a huge fight. Okay, determine the title and reminder phrase for your stressor. So example of a title. So this would be this example says I feel sick to my stomach when I have to get on the school bus. So the reminder phrase is feeling sick to my stomach. So this might say, if we're going back to the fight, I feel upset and angry when I'm fighting with my friend. And your reminder phrase might be fighting with my friend. Okay? So you want to do that. And then rate your stress level. Is this a 0, like hardly any stress, or is this a 10, most stress ever? So when you're fighting with your friend, it probably feels pretty stressful. So that might be like an 8, right? So you're going to set up phrase and karate chop point. So the karate chop point is right here on your hand, okay? So it's that bottom part, like if you were going to karate chop something, this part of your hand, okay? So even though I felt whatever you were feeling, even though I felt upset and angry, I still am a good friend. So you're going to tap on your karate chop point shown here on the right while saying your setup phrase, and you're going to repeat it 3 times. So even though I feel upset and angry, I still am a good friend. Even though I feel upset and angry, I still am a good friend. And you're going to be tapping that point when you do that 3 times. Okay? All right. Then there's the EFT tapping sequence. So I'm going to turn this around so that you can see me do this. Following the tapping sequence in order, you're going to tap about 7 times on each spot with the balls or the tips, like this part of your finger, okay? And it's going to be your index finger and your middle finger. So, and I'll post the picture so that you guys can look at it and you can do this too. But I just kind of want to show you what it was. Number 1 says eyebrow. So the eyebrow is here. So you would just do 5 to 7 taps on eyebrow. Then you're going side of the eye, which is right here. Then we're going under the eye. So it's eyebrow, side of the eye, underneath, okay? From here, you're going under the nose, okay? You have chin, collarbone, right here. Then you have underarm, which is right underneath here. So 5 to 7 taps. And then you have top of the head. And I skipped one, sorry. Then you have collarbone, okay? And I'll post the sequence up there, but that's kind of what it looks like. So you're going to do this while repeating your reminder phrase, right? So like your reminder phrase, like in this example, is feeling sick to my stomach when I get on the bus. So like you would start, I'm feeling sick to my stomach, feeling sick to my stomach, feeling sick to my stomach. So you're just repeating your reminder phrase as you go through each of these. You're just kind of repeating that in your head to help you calm down. And then when you're finished, the 6th step is just assess your progress, okay? So I will put some of this out there for you to look at and reread, and you can write some of it down in your notes if you want to, and just to give you more information about this. But that is just some tips to help you get back to feeling normal when you're highly stressed, highly upset, really, because what happens when you're feeling these emotions, and we're going to talk more about this next week, you start to have body reactions. Like you do feel sick to your stomach, your hands start to sweat, your face gets red. So you are feeling upset, and then you start to feel like physically sick on top of it, right? So we want to be able to calm ourselves, free our mind, and just feel in a happier place with our thoughts and our emotions. And this will help us do that. Okay? All right, guys, I hope that answered some of your questions, and hope will help some of you kind of alleviate some of those anxieties and stresses and things that cause you to feel sad or upset and frustrated. So if you have questions, let me know. Other than that, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to take the quiz. All right.